Buenos dias, brochachos. It is Sunday morning with some nice warm weather today. I have two aged gentlemen with me. It is wonderful to see one AP, aka Adrian Peterson, even though that's not his name. And then, of course, JT Hayes, who has just got some nipples sticking out today. Thank you for putting on the darker shirt so we could not see them. Thank you. Appreciate that, JT.
I mean, hold on. I don't beat my kids, man. They beat me. I promise you. Me and Adrian Peterson have like nothing in common.
You guys have, well, I mean, you're both rich, you know?
I don't think he's rich, and I'm not rich either.
I think he's rich. I think he has a lot of money. You think he pissed
it
away?
I think I mean, how many kids does he have? Like 9, 19? I got two kids, and they cost a lot of money. Yeah, he has a lot of kids, doesn't he?
I didn't know that. I mean, I didn't know Adrian Peterson had a lot of kids. So I guess, well, how many do you have? Two?
Just, two.
Yeah.
They're expensive, though.
JT Hayes, I went to you, and I wish you would have answered a little quicker. But since you didn't, good morning. How are you?
I mean, the brochacho threw me off. It was just a kind of greeting. And look, I'm excited. Haven't worked with AP in a little bit here on one of these shows. And like I said, I just did an awkward video with you a couple of days ago. So,
what are you talking about?
Keep an eye out. The Sweet Spot Pod is coming out tomorrow.
Hold on. That thing still hasn't come out?
What?
No, I mean,
we did like a week ago.
Whoa.
I got a question. Editing your awkward comments out. So we're working on it.
I got an invite to come on. I'm still waiting. I thought that was supposed to be weeks ago. What happened?
No. It's coming up.
It's coming up?
It's coming up either this week or next week. Actually, Simon corrected me. The Sweet Spot Pod is up. So go to wherever you get your podcast for a very awkward listen, including actually, it's funny. We all have a lot in common with Holden's daughter because she has reached the age where she is completely and totally embarrassed by him.
I know.
And it is such a human emotion that many of us feel who know you. And I say that with love. And that was Simon's favorite part of the pod. So there you go.
We had the talk yesterday. I had to take her to a birthday party. I said, sweetie, you didn't want a hug at your camp when I dropped in. Are you embarrassed? Are you officially embarrassed? Can you finally admit it? She's like, yeah, daddy, I am. I said, you know what? That's fine. 7 years old, maybe it's my fault that you didn't wait till 10 to get embarrassed, but I'm fine with that. It was great. It was terrific. AP, don't worry about it. The podcast was nothing special.
I'll listen to it today.
Huh?
I love the podcast we do. I'll listen to it today.
He said he was going to chop all my good stuff out. So, why are you going to listen to this one? JT Hayes, what's the name of the pod? The Sweet Spot?
We didn't chop anything out. We didn't chop anything out. And Holden, it looks like you've got DC's internet there. I guess you're
all right. I'll take care of it. You guys talk amongst yourselves, and I'll.
Has to be the water or something in Denver, right? I mean, it just affects the connection. So what's going on? We got a nice slate here. JT Hayes got like an overview for us. I mean, what are you looking at today?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that stands out to me is the humidity all over the country, in particular. Washington, D.C., 100% humidity. It looks like that game could be very, very interesting. And I don't think it's going to get a ton of ownership on this 10-game slate because there are a lot of very good offensive spots. And then you've got a game that we've targeted, I think, during this entire series was pretty good on Friday night, which is Baltimore in Kansas City. It's a bit warm there. Two pitchers on the mound, Brad Keller, who has regressed, Dean Kramer, who has never been a decent major league pitcher. So I think those are some spots. Then you have Jose Quintana pitching in Atlanta where it's very hot as well. You've got an interesting matchup that I don't think a lot of people will go to in Houston with Edward Cabrera, who's looked great, but with an 080 BABIP against so far this season in 2 starts. You play against Colorado, you play against Washington when they're cold in Miami, and then you go and you take on the Houston Astros. That's a much different matchup for him. So I think some of those left-handed bats are interesting. The Jays and the Tigers, interesting matchup there. Tariq Skubal, the price has come down a little bit for this tough matchup. But, man, Toronto's been hot, mostly doing their damage against right-handed pitching. So it's interesting to see what we think about that game there because Skubal, he's just been phenomenal. He's just been absolutely outstanding. And then lastly, I think the two other spots here that are interesting to me, Tampa Bay against Cole Sands in Minnesota, and then the Yankees. Every day you could play these guys the way they're swinging the bats. Keegan Thompson, who's a guy who's going to go about 5 innings, and then you're going to get into that Chicago bullpen. And Thompson, much more of a pitch to contact pitcher, which is not a good ingredient when you're taking on the New York Yankees.
You know who I like today, AP?
Who's that?
Your Royals.
Oh man, really?
Yeah, I do. I mean, if you're saying really, then this.
No, I mean,
you don't like them?
He's been burned by them.
No, I mean, they're fine. Melendez, just an absolute beast. We got Bobby Witt back in there too. And Michael Taylor, he's been pretty hot. I mean, like it's Sunday. We got to get different. I'm telling you, like, avoid Witt, Merrifield, Benintendi, those guys. Get these, Melendez, Witt, and then get some of these cheap guys in there, and you got a nice stack, I think, towards the bottom of the order.
Okay. I'm hearing you. JT Hayes, you were shaking your head up and yes and no. Did you like them a little bit, the Royals, maybe many?
I like the Royals a lot today.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the spots. That's one of the 2 games that I think could be the best games here. The one in Washington, where you got Paolo Espino, and then Jason Alexander, who's got some troubling underlying metrics. And the Nationals have been all of a sudden very hot, smashing the ball this entire series against Milwaukee. And then that game in Kansas City, just interesting to me. Sal Perez finally looks like he's gotten over his injury issue, got it going. Hit a home run on Friday night. We were talking about him on Friday's show. I said it's the type of slate where you look up and all of a sudden you see Sal Perez has 2 homers. He didn't get the second one, but he did put up something like 23 points. So I like that spot a lot. There's a couple of really, really good hitting spots today. And the key here is as we get close to the lock, you start looking at stack ownership percentages and say, which one of these of, the Washington, Milwaukee, Kansas City game, the Tampa Bay game, right? Which one of those is going to be lower owned and fall by the wayside? And maybe that's the one that I'll probably end up loading up on.
Okay. So before we get into this, let's do our spiel, and then we'll do the show, the rest of the show for free for you. Like button 71. I don't know what we're looking for today, JT Hayes, but I'm sure you can scare people into it, right? You can scare people into getting it up to 700 likes today.
What did we get? We didn't get quite to 700 last week. We did get to 300 though, didn't we?
Maybe even 4. Yeah, we did quite a bit. We scared them.
Yeah, we got to get at least 300. We'll start there. 300 is the floor from now on. I mean, we can't be, playing around with this. We got to have some consistency here. Ron Rice, thank you for the comment. Need more structure on the pod. I take that to heart. I tried to put structure in, and Holden mocked me for it. But let's go with the floor of 300, and then we'll see where we go from there. We got 226, 230 watching. I know we're going to get over 300 people watching this because it's Sunday morning. It's a beautiful day. There's going to be a ton of scoring in baseball today, and you guys need to know where to target. So get to 300. We'll see what happens after that.
Okay. And then AP, it's time for you to sell the site. Okay. You're the master salesman, right? You're the CEO.
The master salesman.
Yeah,
I thought that was you.
I can't sell shit, man. It's sad. It's really sad. I can't even sell baseball cards at this point. In all seriousness, though, this site is just got so much to offer.
Yeah, it's been, if you're not following Big T, like he's absolutely on fire again. What he shipped 200. You can congratulate him.
I did. I even congratulated him. Not only did I say
Holden, it was the week before where he only hit $70,000, and you wouldn't even say congratulations.
I did.
Because it wasn't 100.
He shamed me into a congratulations. It wasn't a real one, but you know what? This time he did it and he earned it. All right. He got a all caps congrats. He got a little gift with flowers in it. He got everything he deserved, and I'm very proud of Big T.
I will say, okay, so here's the one thing I continue to see everyone, so Big T's, he's putting a lot of his stuff in Discord right now. So we have a strong MLB team. We all trust our MLB guys. They're all incredible. JT Hayes, Gary, the list goes on and on and on. Big T's posting his stuff in Discord. So you got to be a member. You got to get in there. He's going to post it. Trust me. He plays all these slates. Talk to him every day. He's going to post it. You don't need to tag him. He'll get it in there. We promise you.
Not at 7 a.m. Not at 7 a.m.
I love. It usually tags start. Hey, is Big T posting his stuff in Discord today? It's just funny.
He's not sleeping still, is he?
No,
I don't know if he ever sleeps, man.
he does.
He was up when he came on the show last week, so maybe he is awake. Good morning, BigT. Congratulations for finally living up to the expectations. I appreciate that. So anyways, let's do a little like button action and let's get into today's slate. We're going to start with the pitching. JT Hayes, just a broad overarching thoughts on this one, because we got Verlander at the top at 10-5. Is that going to be necessary going up against Miami? Ashcraft has actually pitched pretty well for St. Louis. You mentioned Skubal back on the slate as well. I don't know if you were on Ranger Suarez last week when we were working. You may or may have not have been. Somebody was on him, and I wonder if you think he's a decent play today. Talk to me. Break down a little baseball pitching for us right here, JT Hayes.
Yeah, you look up top and you got Verlander in a pretty good matchup against Miami. Jazz Chisholm was out of the lineup yesterday. Not sure if that has something to do with an injury or anything. I haven't seen anything, but the bottom half of that lineup, Verlander should just carve right through. So it's a pretty interesting matchup. He is 10-5, but he's earned that price. Kyle Wright gets a matchup against Pittsburgh. Charlie Morton struck out 12 Pirates yesterday. Kyle Wright at 10-1. He's just been phenomenal. He's made the leap to the next level. And really nobody in Atlanta was expecting it. So it's been nice to see, but I do think you have some interesting spots here in the mid-range. You've got Jameson Taillon that got a significant price cut down to 8.2K. He's facing the Cubs here in Yankee Stadium. He's been pitching really, really well. He got dinged up a little bit in his last start against the Twins, but the Twins have been doing that to everybody lately, so won't take anything out of that. So Taillon's interesting. And then a little bit lower in a matchup at home against the Cincinnati Reds, who are much worse on the road, is Dakota Hudson at 7-1. And Hudson has really, really strong home road splits. Much, much better at home, not so good on the road. Did have a good game on the road at Tampa Bay last time out. So those guys, then you've got Michael Kopech, who got a significant price cut as well after an outstanding game. He's still a little bit inconsistent. So that's where I'm going to take a look at ownership. If ownership is going to Kopech, I may look elsewhere simply because he hasn't shown that consistency coming off of a ceiling game. I think Skubal is interesting here just because I don't think anybody's going to play him. And like I mentioned, as hot as the Jays have been, they've done most of their damage against right-handed pitching. They really are, look, they're not a weak offense against left-handed pitching, but they're slightly weaker than they are. And Skubal has just been phenomenal. So he's interesting. On the opposite side of that game at a lower price point is Ross Stripling. And, outside of Gausman, who I think, if you remember, this time last season was when the wheels fell off of Gausman. He was outstanding first month and a half, 2 months, and then all of a sudden, just complete disaster the rest of the way, except for like 3 or 4 games. So I think Stripling's interesting at 6'9", and really that's about it. I think that Jeffrey Springs may be popular. He's been great every single game. Now the price point is elevated. Minnesota's been hitting the ball very, very well. I wonder if this is the game where Jeffrey Springs comes back to a normal version of pitcher expectations.
Ooh, okay. A little Springs action here. I like what he had to say about him. AP, please break down some pitching for us, and I'll just lead it in easily. Is it a good idea to go with Verlander, or can we save some money there and spend up on bats?
Yeah, very good breakdown by JT Hayes there. Yeah, Verlander top option. He had a couple shaky outings there, but he looks to be kind of positively regressing towards, his 21, the numbers that we're used to seeing. And the thing about Verlander is his leash is just massive. So if he's dealing, which I expect he will against the Marlins on a Sunday, guys like Jazz and, Soler and these guys, probably had themselves a good time last night. And, maybe Verlander shows up and I think he does. So I have him as the clear top option. And then kind of like with what JT Hayes said, I think there's the case to be made for many different guys down in this mid-range. I did a deep dive on Kopech last week against the Dodgers, making a case for the Dodgers, a Dodger stack against him. Now we all know how that went. Not good. He came out and looked really good. So his struggle has been when he gets off, he sees these this massive dip in velocity. And so he relies heavily on his fastball. And once that velocity dips, we see the fly balls come, especially from left-handed hitters. So it's a Sunday. We see weird things happen on a Sunday. I think he's going to be the potential chalkiest play at 8.1K coming off a monster game against the Dodgers. Looked incredible. I'll admit, looked absolutely incredible. Play him. He's in my pitching pool as well. I also think that you can stack against him if you're running multiple lineups. No one's going to play the Rangers here, and Cole Calhoun, for example, Corey Seager, a couple lefties that could definitely get to him. Nate Lau, Adolis Garcia is just hitting. I mean, he's a monster right now. Simeon, he's come to life. I mean, this is a dangerous lineup. So are the Dodgers. I get it, but I don't know if you're going to get up for a matchup against the Dodgers or against the Rangers like you would for the Dodgers. And Stevie Boynton mentioned it last time Kapesh was out there, that he's a guy that tends to get up for big matchups. So I don't know. There's case to be made both ways. And I know I don't like saying both sides of the case here, but in baseball, I like to build multiple lineups, and I like to make sure that, my lineups tell a story. And so I'll have a little bit of Kapesh. I think he's good, but I will run a few very contrarian stacks against him here. And I think it should be decent hitting weather there in Chicago. And then, Ranger Suarez, Jeffrey Springs, guys that I kind of like. Dakota Hudson, I thought that comment there, just the home road splits and everything, matchup consideration against the Reds is a very interesting play too. He's going to be very low owned. I'm kind of torn on Kyle Wright, the other top tier spend up. I'll probably just lock Verlander in and be off of Wright. That's just kind of one of the leverage decisions I'm going to make on the slate. I don't know if I can fit both of them with the bats that I want. And then Cole Sands is, I think, kind of interesting as an absolute punt option. The Rays just have not been good, that good. I mean, it's very, very risky, but anytime we get a starting pitcher that's like almost min price, which he is, and he's struggled, I'm always going to have a little bit of interest, especially against a team that's struggling hitting, which it seems like the Rays have been. 134 ISO, 267 WOBA against right-handed pitching. I mean, on the year, not terrible, but that 5.3 price tag. And I'm not sitting here saying like I know a lot about Cole Sands. I do know he was like their 14th ranked prospect. I know they're giving him another run in the cycle, so they must see something in him. And I know he's battled injuries too, a couple like shoulder or arm things or whatever. Them giving him like another run in the cycle, starting lineup, they must see something in him. So, maybe he comes out and has a good outing here against the Rays. But clearly on the slate, I do think Verlander is by far the top option. The guy I'm just figuring I'll lock him in. And then I think I'm running 5 builds today, and I'll play some of these other guys as my SP2.
I like it. We did have a question in chat about FanDuel, so I guess it's good to at least discuss if there's a one pitcher. Andrew Martinez, how about a one pitcher site like FanDuel? JT Hayes, who's the one guy there?
Yeah, I mean, I think the decision point of Verlander versus Wright on that slate, right? You have to imagine it. It's worked out this way on DraftKings all season long because they're kind of on the same schedule. So they've been on the same slate several times. Verlander gets up to 30, 40, 50% ownership, and Kyle Wright is down around 15%. So today they both have, I would say, roughly the same matchup, but I would give the edge to Kyle Wright in terms of matchup, right? Because this Pirates team is not nearly as good as the Marlins team can be. But I don't think on FanDuel, depending on where you want to go for bats, I mean, you can always get up to the most expensive pitcher if you want. I don't think it's necessary today because there are some really good options in the mid-range. So I think it would come down to ownership for me. I think Wright's always going to come in much lower owned than Verlander. And if I guess I'm giving a slight matchup advantage to Wright here. They are also, I mean, both Atlanta and Houston minus 250 favorites today. So it's hard to say how you find a differentiator in that matchup.
Yeah. How about you, AP? You got any one pitcher specifically for FanDuel?
Yeah, I like that breakdown. It would probably be Verlander, but it's Sunday. I'm telling you, like we do I do content on Sunday, every Sunday. JTAs does too. How often do we see random stuff happen too? So I always like to get a little bit different on Sundays. I like to get a little bit crazier in tournaments because it just seems like the baseball, like it's not as standard as like throughout the week. I don't know if you guys pick up on that too, but it just seems like we see crazier things happen, like 6 through 9 stacks or 5 through 9 stacks, and like just different stuff like that is kind of what I like to do on Sundays.
So the Dozier, Santana, Emmanuel Rivera, Michael A. Taylor stack, that's just a wacky Sunday lineup, right?
I like that. And you could play like I said I wasn't going to do it, but you could play a Verlander right double spin up at pitcher if you do a stack like that. You have to get value from somewhere, and it's going to come from the bottom of the order.
I mean, I'm looking at like a 5 through 9 stack there with the Royals. You could talk me off of it as the show goes on, though, AP. I don't know. I was all excited about it. JT Hayes is on my side, and then like the Royals whisperer over here is not on it. How am I going to push through this?
I wanted to see the lineup. Witt wasn't it. Bobby Witt wasn't in there to start, but he came in, pinch hit yesterday. Now he's in there today, and Melendez is in there. I mean, if you're going to do it, I love these Perez Melendez stacks because you got to play Melendez in the outfield. Salvi at catcher, obviously. I love pairing those two because you're automatically going to be different. I don't think a lot of people do that.
Okay. Let me tell you what you need to do for us so that we can do stuff for you. Like button would be great. JT Hayes wants 300. Why do we want you to hit that? Because it helps the algorithm and more people watch us. When more people watch us, everybody's happier. It's good mojo for you too. Second of all, for those of you that have just for whatever reason not signed up yet, I don't understand why, but we got a nice little plan here. If you want to dip your toe into betting or you're a big bettor, well, right now, when you go to runpuresports.com and you sign up, if you type the code GETBETS, 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 you get the bet subscription included free for the first month. And Joey, JJ, I'm going to go do a show with them right when this one's over on the bet side. They've been killing it. I think JJ actually was like 9-0 on his free plays. Behind the paywall, he was killing it too. Joey Work, as we all know. Then the NBA still going on. The finals, Spread, Tyler, those guys are doing it. If you ever get a chance, like I said, someday, maybe I'll be 90. Maybe I just won't work. But when I have time on a Sunday, not during football season, I will sit down and watch Keg's show the whole time because all they do is print money. It's just like, and it's so frustrating. It's like, I just don't have time to do it. But then every time I look at it, hey, we're up 32 units today. Okay. I mean, what am I going to do? I don't have time right now. If you got the time on Sunday or you want to make time to make money, go add Keg's package. I'm telling you right now, the dude is absolutely in fuego. Let's get to these games though right now, AP. So the like button would be great too. Pittsburgh, Atlanta. I know there's some differing opinions here. It's going to be, warm and muggy again. It's your typical weather down there in Atlanta. AP, got any interest in the Braves? Acuna continues to roll here.
Yeah, I have a ton of interest in the Braves. They've been crushing lefties, 250 as a team, ISO, 370 WOBA on the season. I mean, it's top to bottom. They are a very complete team that is coming to life. I mean, Ozzie Albies with the grand slam yesterday. I'm salty because, and I'm a donkey for doing this, but I moved to a full stack of the Baltimore KC game off of a full. I was struggling to stack up the Braves yesterday, and I found a full way to stack them, but I had to get very different at pitching, and I would have just smashed. But hindsight 2020, it is what it is. But Braves, I'm not going to fade them today. Top to bottom, very complete team, very good numbers against lefties. I have a ton of interest.
Yeah. Anybody in particular you want to go for?
Yeah, any of them. I mean,
any and all.
I would look at so it's Sunday. Like I said, my rules. I would look at Michael Harris. People bottom of the order, lefty. People are going to look at him, but the numbers still look good. Duvall, Contreras, Ozuna, BVP. No one's good. Ozuna's been struggling. Definitely had been struggling, but he's got some good, he knows Quintana. So Gary was talking about it in chat. So you could get very different with a 6 through 9 stack and then take whoever you want from, probably Riley, Swanson, or Acuna. So maybe avoid the Matt Olson lefty there.
All right. GT Hayes, I mentioned Atlanta. You're down there in Atlanta. You usually like Atlanta. You like Atlanta today?
Yeah, and you saw, AP mentioned it, Ozzy Albies now finally hitting the ball. He was in a bit of a slump there for a while. And this is one of the things I talk about why watching the games is important here. I don't know how many people saw Ozuna's at bat in the inning where they went nuts. I think he let it off, or was the second batter, hit a double that almost went out in dead center field. So that's a very good sign for Marcell Ozuna. I like him a bit. Got to see that. I don't know if that lineup's up, but if
it's up,
so let's take a look. I want to see if Heredia is in that lineup.
He is not in the lineup.
But Duvall at the bottom. Contreras, the broadcasters yesterday were talking about Contreras looking right now like one of the most confident hitters in Major League Baseball. I mean, he struts to the plate. He feels when he goes up to the plate, he's going to smash the baseball, and he's been doing that. So I like that call on the bottom of the lineup. And of course, Dansby, Acuna, Riley always hits lefties very well. So, and then the thing we were talking about, Kyle Wright versus Justin Verlander. Verlander projected 46% ownership. Kyle Wright projected 20%. They both have very much the same metrics in terms of game lines, in terms of strikeout props, and yet one is going to be almost 3 times as highly owned as the other.
All right, JT, guys, I'm coming right back at you here. What the hell is going on with Milwaukee? The bottom is falling out, but they got off to such a great start. They're still over 500. We got Washington today. We got beautiful weather, 80 degrees. Sure, it might get a shower here and there, but super humid. Every time I talk about Nats Park, I've been to hundreds and hundreds of games there. And I'll tell you, that place, when it's at least 75 degrees, it just gets really small. The ball flies out in DC. I think it's going to happen again today, JT. I just don't know if I want to go here. How about that? It's just
really,
yeah. Talk me into it. I feel like there's a couple better spots, even the Royals.
100% humidity.
100?
100% humidity. Paolo Espino and Jason Alexander are the guys on the mound.
All right, I like this game now. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, and Big T's guy helped everybody ship on Friday night. Jace Peterson, 2.6K, hitting 8th. Espino is every bit as bad as Eric Fetty. So I like this game a lot. And there's 3 games here that probably keep me a little bit lower on the Braves, and this is one of them for sure.
AP, you want to attack this Nationals Brewers game today, or is there any plan of attack?
Yeah, for me, like I think the Nationals, you can do a little mini. Like for me, like mini stack is the max I'm going here. It's Juan Soto, Josh Bell, both guys hitting the ball really good right now. And then the Brewers, I mean, I've been hurt by them too much. I feel like maybe I've gotten on at the right times and gotten off at the right times also. Christian Yelich back in that starting spot, right there, hitting really good. You could do, again, get different. You could do a Yelich, Jace Peterson, Tyrone Taylor. He was hot for us for a while. I mean, you got an 8-9-1 stack, and then, if you want to go 3-man stack, and then you could fill it out with whoever else you like. So I'm kind of with JTAs on this spot. I would just get different. I would play some of these guys at the top of the order or bottom of the order, and then mix them in with a little wraparound with like Yelich.
Okay. JJ, if you're there, that could be my stolen play of the day. Just putting 2 things together and then figuring out which game that I want to go with. Bet side. We got a show starting at the top of the hour. JJ, Joey Work, myself will be doing that, but always good hanging out with my boys here. AP and JT Hayes. And if you didn't know, members never win here. It's kind of our shtick. All right. So if you throw out hashtag members never win on your tweet or your Instagram, we'll repost you on our story from your winner. Let's get into some of the winners. Baseball, big nights, right? Lycan, 888, 25K in MLB. Stevie Boynton, basically a subscriber, especially in the NBA. He literally knows no NBA. He watched the Up to Lock show. He cashed for 36K. The Punisher with 50K hit in Major League Baseball. Again, are we really putting Hoop on here? 75K in Major League Baseball. 75K doesn't even get him a congratulations from me, but whatever. When you work with the best, you just have to raise the bar a little bit. Hoop won another 75K. C. Jacobs won $90,000 in the PGA. Anybody playing the new tour? You playing the new tour there? AP, did they come up with some DFS, some Saudi Arabia?
I don't know if we have
DFS?
contests for it, but I've been watching it. I mean, the money they're throwing at those players are insane. It is absolutely insane. My boy Pete Uline took home over $2 million for finishing fourth. Mm-hmm. I mean, just insane.
Well, Big T almost won that much money for finishing first, $167,000 in Major League Baseball. So the boss man taking care of business there. Members never win, although they always seem to do so. All right, let's get to our third game here. We got a little bit of weather in Philadelphia, Arizona at Philadelphia. My God, the Phillies just nonstop since Girardi got canned. They're just going bananas. What is it, 9 wins in a row, guys? 8-9 wins in a row for them. It's nonstop. Bryce Harper is on another level. It's the thing again with him. He gets on these 4 to 6 week runs. He can't do anything. And then the 4 to 6 weeks that he's hot, though, there's just nobody like it. It's remarkable. So talk to me here, AP. Any interest in this game? Diamondbacks, Phillies.
Yeah, Kyle Nelson will. I got a friend named Kyle Nelson, so it's kind of funny. Not a baseball player, though. He's going to act as the opener. Did you find
that funny as I did right there? Because he said it was kind of funny. Did you find it funny? He didn't. Look, he's not even shaking his head. AP.
Well, I mean, you don't know him. He's not
he
your
funny
buddy.
Person?
He's not my friend. He's AP's.
No.
He's not funny. But basically, you just told us that you're
not a gambler, not an athlete either.
He's not. Okay.
We call him Kyle Smelson, so that's why I was laughing. There you go.
All right, you totally saved the story with that, AP. You got anything on this game?
I was saying the name, and I started thinking about the Smelson part in my head, and so I laughed. All right. Yeah, I think so. He's going to be act as the opener, and I mean, it's the D-backs. Like, I don't know. I mean, you guys probably know bullpens better than me, but not like one. Like, usually bullpen games, I'm not excited about stacking against, but the Diamondbacks, I don't know. Like Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, these guys are absolutely crushing it right now. So I like them. Like, I like a mini stack here, focusing on those power guys. I also think since it's a lefty to start, maybe we get them a little bit lower owned, maybe not. But any of these guys, kind of 1 through, I would say 6 for Philly, I have interest in is kind of like a 3-man stack. This is one spot though. I'm not gonna mess around with the 7, 8, or 9 batters for Philly, and I am off of the D-backs here, except for Christian Walker. If you want a one-off, he's been absolutely crushing lefties, so he's the one guy that profiles pretty well from a BV. He's our big platoon guy.
Not a BVP, just a big platoon.
Big platoon, yeah, I believe so. I believe so. I don't know. I mean, I'm not the best with that.
You know what?
JT Hayes might know.
I don't know if I've asked AP this though. Do you use BVP at any point in time? What does it take for you to use it?
No, I mean, like if it comes up, or if someone like Gary, he posted something in Discord, so I'll take a look then. But I'm not like actively like looking at it because I don't know. I don't think it matters that much.
Okay, JT Hayes. JT, excuse me, he doesn't like to be called JT Hayes. AP, did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he finds it very condescending.
Call me by my apologies. That's all I said to you, Holden, because you were.
No, I did the same thing, AP. I got my head bit off. But he's like, people don't call me JT Hayes, just call me by my first name. Well, guess what? Your first name isn't JT. It's something else. Okay.
Call me by my nickname then.
Okay, that's fine. That's better. At least clear it up. What do you got in this game, pal?
You got to like the Phillies, as AP mentioned. Kyle Nelson. Brandon McNear is locking Kyle Smelson, he says, but don't do that because he's going to pitch like an inning, and then you're going to get the 4th worst bullpen on the slate over the last 2 weeks. So whereas we normally don't target bullpen games, this is one where I can say you could play some of these Philly lefties, and I'll definitely be doing that.
Okay, very good. We got that one done. Like button would be great. We're looking for 300. How's my internet, guys? Is it better or is it still shitty?
Good.
Flawless.
No, it's good.
Flawless.
Much better. Okay, I didn't want to get like DC's disease. I wanted to make sure, I'm like an hour away from him, so he can't screw with my internet, but you got problems. That's the first thing you start thinking of, right? Cubs and the Yankees. Boy, was yesterday disappointing for me. The total in that game was 9. They ended up with 8. 6 solo home runs by the Yankees. They probably should have had 9, to be honest with you. JT, though, the Yankees today, Judge is just nonstop. Him and Stanton, both of them. Like, I get it. If you just want to lock those two guys in, I don't blame you. They cost a lot of money, but those two guys, Acuna, Arise, there's like 7 or 8 dudes that are just on fire right now. And then those are 2 of them. Buxton, Harper. What do you got here from the Yankees side?
Yeah, I mean, Judge leading off now is just kind of amusing. Matt Carpenter, late addition to that lineup. And I've got some interest in these guys. The rain, I'm going to watch the rain a little bit here because, like I said earlier, I do have interest in Jameson Taillon as well. And if that rain looks like it's going to be an issue of on and off, then on this slate, I'm not going to mess around with a pitcher in a potential rain delay. I'll probably just go elsewhere. So, but the hitters, I think you could definitely take a look at here on the Yankees side for sure. You mentioned all these guys, just so many of them very, very hot right now. Even Joey Gallo, a couple of home runs the other night. So, yeah, definitely some interest in the Yanks.
AP, Yankees tonight or this afternoon? And do you want to go anywhere with the Cubs?
Yeah, no interest here with the Cubs, but yeah, a ton of. I mean, Keegan Thompson, a guy that pitches, high hard hit rate that results in fly balls. Gave up 3 bombs to the Orioles in Camden Yards. Now faces a Yankees team that's very hot. The thing about the Yankees, full stacks, in my opinion, are tough because of one thing that JT said. Is those solo home runs. We see so many of them. And so what I've started doing with the Yankees is like 3-man stacks, focusing on power. Judge, Rizzo, Stanton right there. Play those guys and then move off elsewhere. You do that, you can kind of maximize your stack. I think I just haven't seen I'm not playing Marwin Gonzalez. I mean, you could play the catcher in there too. Joey Gallo. I mean, I don't know. He went through that really, massive slump and then had a short period of time where, I mean, it was like 1 or 2 games where he was on fire and then now he could be slumping again. I'm just trusting putting my trust on the top of the order here. Judge, Rizzo, Stanton, all very strong plays.
Yeah, nobody's messing with the Cubs, so we don't got to worry about that. What's interesting yesterday, though, they had a A++ matchup, all solo bombs, though. They weren't getting guys on. Just solo home run after solo home run. I mean, we'll take that in DFS. We absolutely love that. We might see a lot more of it today. Where are we on the like side here, JT Hayes? 184, already halfway through, so let's go.
It's not good. It's not good. Nearly 500 watching. We're not going to mention it again. You've got to get to 300 likes. We're not saying it again. You don't get there. This is the new thing, Holden. This is what we did Friday. Worked out very well.
It did.
We're not going to waste our breath and our time trying to get these likes. You either get there or you don't. And if not, then the plays are going in Discord and in the courts. That's it.
Okay. I like it. It's beautiful to listen to you say that. Free your mean Mercedes from Maction Jones. All right. That's how we're coming in. We're coming in strong today. Free your mean Mercedes. I don't hear that too often. Toronto and Detroit. Now, this is the one I'm interested in hearing from you, AP. Because you got Scooball, lefty, going up against the Toronto Blue Jays red hot offense. We do like Scooball, or I like Scooball a lot. I know everybody seems to be high on the kid. Do you want to mess going against him today?
Yeah, so this is kind of a classic spot for me to where Toronto let people down as a chalk spot yesterday. And they get what I think is, on paper, they've been very good against left-handed hitters. Pulling up their numbers as a team, just under 200 ISO, 353 WOBA versus lefty, Springer, Bichette, Vladdy, Kirky, Hernandez, Lourdes, all those guys, very, very strong plays against Espinal, another one. And I think they're going to be low owned with how good Scooball has been. So for me, this is a nice tournament spot, full stack it up if they could get to them. I mean, we've seen, Scooball, he's not afraid to pitch to contact, can give up some hard hits there, and I could see him give up some bombs in this spot to the Blue Jays. Especially, I think their ownership is going to be very low owned, especially when you look at those prices. People are going to want, if you're playing Bo, Vlad, Springer, they're priced up there with Judge, and we know Judge is going to be very popular on the slate, so you can't. You can't play all these guys. You got to pick and choose. So I think the Blue Jays end up very low owned here. I'm not on Scooball. I like a stack, mini or full against him in tournaments. I think it's going to be contrarian. I think it has a ton of upside.
What do you think here, JT? Little Blue Jays?
It's just, I don't know. Like, I think I'm going to have a few shares of Screwball, and I think the rest I'm going to leave alone here. I just like these other spots a lot more. AP's absolutely right. These guys can go off on any given slate, and it's usually a team that I try to have at least one lineup of. I just like these other spots a lot more today. So I don't know if I'll get to the Jays other than more than one lineup in multi-entry. And I want to have some Screwball here. I think, he's going to come in at 5% owned, and I think that strikeout stuff is something that can get him to 20-25 fantasy points, even in this matchup. So I take a shot on him at low ownership.
Was he the guy that, and I'm looking at last year's numbers too, when I'm kind of weighing this decision in, because the guy's been incredible this year, but didn't he have like 7 or 8 games where he gave up 3 or more home runs last year? So
the hard hits to righties were a significant problem. He's corrected it quite a bit this year. Obviously, the strikeout rate's up. It's still there with as hard as he throws. He's still listed in the top 5 of hard hits because when guys make contact, the ball flies. So, it's not like a classic Robbie Ray situation that we've seen where you could play Robbie Ray, but also take like 3 1-ups against him. But I think it's one way or the other. Either he's going to do well and the Jays are going to be limited, or it's going to be an ugly game for him. And so it's just the ownership here and the leverage that I'm thinking I want to have some of him, because I know nobody's going to play him, and the ceiling is so big for me.
You make a good point, and I think this makes a lot of sense because no one's going to play him, and I don't think a lot of people are going to play the Blue Jays. Yeah. So for me, it's like I think we're going to see runs here. Like I think it's a good environment for run production, and so I think it's just a good overall game to target. Not the Tiger side for me. I'm off of them. They're just bad. But as far as the Blue Jays go in tournaments, Screwball tournament play, very good play. Also a full Blue Jay stack. Just when you look at all these righties here, a nice tournament play as well.
There's one last thing I'll mention here about this game and give you a little bit more insight into why I'm thinking what I am is. All week long, Toronto's been like a 220 favorite, 240 favorite. Today, they're a 135 favorite, and it's one of the lowest totals on the slate. So we talked about Stripling a little bit earlier, 6'9" on the other side of that. He's probably, I think he might go 6 today if he's doing well. 6,900 on DraftKings. So it just, again, based on what people are expecting from that game, it just shapes up a little bit contrarian for me, but I think, like I said, one way or the other.
Okay, let's talk about JT's pod real quick. The Sweet Spot pod, correct? It's out. You didn't even know it. So we're talking about things, and listen, I didn't really want to listen to the pod. It was hard. It was horrible. I had to hang out with you and G Rison of all people. What the hell is that guy doing? Uncle T was nice to be around again. He did the playbook today. Let's give him some love. Go look at the playbook. It's done. It's got players at every single position, slate plans. Every position gives you a little positional plan. But you brought up the topic. You said, hey, who's the next manager fired? No, I don't know. I didn't look at your rundown. I didn't know what you were talking about. So I just went off the top of my head and said, all right, maybe Johnny Bell, who the hell knows? But right when we got off of there, it was a day game, and Tony La Russa decided to walk Trey Turner on a 1-2 count.
Yep.
And then Max Muncy took him deep, and then La Russa just tripled down. He's like, no, it's the right move, and was very condescending. Then yesterday, the fans say, fire Tony. Here we are today, my friend, and the White Sox are in free fall. Tony La Russa has got to be on the hot seat. I don't know. Maybe Reinsdorf is protecting him. How do you back anything going on with the White Sox right now? And the way that Texas is hitting, how do we not look at Texas a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you said David Bell, by the way. I don't want you to come.
I think I said Buddy Bell just a minute ago.
But whatever. I don't want you to be coming on here and taking credit and saying you thought it was La Russa. I think it was Uncle T who said Tony La Russa.
Oh, I definitely did not think
or G Rison. But so credit to them as long as it's not you getting credit.
The Sweet Spot pod.
But that's the thing about Kopech here, right? Kopech, I just looked at ownership projections, 40% owned. And The question that I try and ask myself with these things is, on this slate with Verlander, with Wright, with some of these mid-price guys, should an inconsistent, let's call him a rookie, even though it's his second year, should he be 40% own holding in this matchup with the way that Texas is hitting? And the answer is probably not. So this isn't my favorite spot here. I think if you're playing Texas, you're doing it more so, I think, primarily for leverage, but also because you think that, like AP was talking about, Kopech gets up for that game. Now Texas comes in, shit's wacky with La Russa. There's a lot of attention on the team. Maybe he doesn't have his greatest game. And then that White Sox bullpen that was supposed to be so great hasn't been good at all over the last couple of weeks. So I think that's an interesting leverage spot there. Other than that, I don't really have, I guess maybe I should have interest in John Gray, but he's pitched so bad on the road. I think that's where I stand on this game.
All right, what do you want to do here with Tony La Russa's boys against the Rangers, AP?
Yeah, part of my process is also thinking about the future and who's going to be tilting who in Discord. Kopech profiles out as a guy that people are going to be tilting. I'm telling you, like he looked incredible against the Dodgers. I watched that game and I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble with the stack. This dude's throwing 97, hitting all of his spots. But you go back and look at some of these other games. He did that against the Yankees. Had an awesome game, pitched 7 innings. Like almost 30 DK points, limited a ton of hits and run production. Came out against Toronto. We saw a dip in velocity. The focus wasn't there, and they crushed him. So another spot, very sneaky. Semien, Seager, Garcia, Calhoun. These lefties are going to be a problem for him because he's allowed a lot of fly balls and hard hits to lefties, and you got 3 of them that I think are pretty dangerous here. So I'm not saying I'm fading. I'm going to have like probably some exposure to him. He's 8,100 and he could put up 30 here. He definitely could. He could also get blown up. This is just one of those spots where I will have a couple full Ranger stacks against him, focusing on those lefties and then probably Garcia and Semien. So right there, I gave it away. Semien, Seager, Garcia, Calhoun, Nate Lau. I mean, those guys right there, all very solid. Jonah Heim. I mean, he's another one that could, switch hitter. Another one that's going to be dangerous. So I think it's a tough spot for him. But I mean, our boy Luke just posted his little stat sheet in Discord. Go there and look at that. And he's the 100% analytics score. So he's the top analytics play on the slate. All of these things are going to push his ownership up. So if you want some leverage, move off of him. But a lot of people that do that, they're not going to actually stack against him. I think this is a spot that you can stack against him.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I'm just looking at some of these guys. I don't use it as much, but I just look at who's been hot over the last 7 days, 14 days, and it's just Garcia, Semien. Like these guys are just popping. They've been going nuts. Garcia's got
hit a home run yesterday.
Yeah, he's got 3 in his last 25 at bats. You got Semien, who's got 4 home runs in his last 25 at bats and a 1536 OPS. Very small samples here, but again,
they're all fastball hitters too, yeah. And he throws 70%
great
heaters.
Point.
So I mean, yeah,
no, it's a great point.
Same reason he had trouble with the Jays.
There's a reason why he had trouble with the Jays.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas, and listen, the books don't even think Texas is going to do that well today. They only got him at 3.5. At 3.5.
Oh man, Seager. I mean, man, these guys. If you just like look at who hits fastballs good. I mean, yeah, the Semien, Seager, Garcia, yeah, all these guys. I don't know. It could go either way, but I like to get different. So
it can go either way.
I might just fade him. Well, I'm saying like he's a good, like if he shows up and is motivated like he was against the Dodgers, if he could do that against the Dodgers, he could do it against anyone. What I'm saying though is I don't know. I like this spot. I like the leverage we're going to get. Double leverage is kind of what we call it at times. So I might just fade him. Just if he beats me, he beats me. I think I am going to fade him.
Those dudes
got to make stands, right, Holden?
Yeah. And man, I got to say that that organization, the White Sox, are just such a mess right now. And there's a handful of them, but you just let like the Brewers complete free fall. What is going on here? So let's see here. Glock's article hot. Pod was great except for Holden. Fuck you, Harold. I got 2 out of 6 with Kopech, 40%. Okay, that's good too. Let's move on to our next game, and that would be Tampa Bay, Minnesota. Well, JT, I'm just going to you, Mr. Springs over here. So you want to roll a little Twins bats?
Yeah, I like both sides of this game. Cole Sands, I know AP talked a lot about Cole Sands. He's up with the major league team and in this rotation now because of the injury to Sonny Gray. He's one of these guys who would not be in the major leagues but for that. He grades out as just, the bottom 5 pitchers on the slate here. 3 home runs per 9 innings. I mean, that is a bit insane. So I do like both sides of this game here, and I'm not going to be on either one of these pitchers.
What about you, AP?
Yeah, so I mean, I want to go on record saying I don't like this guy or anything like that.
No, I was like, I feel badly saying it, but I can't.
No, so like what I read about him, more so in the minors, he throws a fastball and then has an average fastball, 91 to 94, speed. So, I mean, in the majors, that's trouble. That's probably what's resulted in quite a few home runs that we've seen. His nasty pitch is his curveball too. I know he has a lot of movement on that. Tougher to get that through some of these guys. The Rays for me, they've just been strikeout machines. So that if he somehow gets lucky, he needs the luck factor there. And he's one of the avenues, one of the ways that we can get access to. If one, I want Verlander. 2, if I want Verlander and another mid-price guy, it's hard to get some of these stacks. So he's one of the punt plays there where if he can rely on some luck, which I know we don't want to often do, and then some strikeouts, which the Rays as a team have been striking out at a 25% clip, maybe he gets us, 12 to 15, points, which could be enough at his price tag. That's the one thing I was saying. And then Springs is the other guy I'm interested in as well. My problem with him is, Buxton is on fire. Correa on fire. Very similar to, I'm not going to say the Yankees, but those top 3 guys, 1, 2, 3 right there are all starting to hit the ball really well. So I have a ton. I'm very concerned about Springs in the spot, despite, the numbers look good, 27% strikeout rate, 3.8% xFIP. Minnesota, 155 ISO, but that's as a team. If we throw Buxton in there with how he's hitting right now, Correa with how he's hitting right now, those 2 alone are going to bring that number up. So I have some concerns here with Springs and obviously with Sands, but I have them both in my possible pitching pool right now.
Okay, so and Harold Booker said, same to you, Kush. I like that, Harold. I like that. Good morning to you now. So like button would be nice. We're looking for 300. JT Hayes is not messing around today. There's no doubt about it. If we don't get to that, he ain't giving you anything. We've also got 3 more games to get through. So you got a little bit of time to get to 300. And I also want to let you know that if you haven't already signed up, what are you waiting for? When the big guys are on a heater, that usually trickles down to us peasants, right? Because what we do here at Run Pure Sports is the best in the world. They post their cores. Okay. They don't give you every play. We still got to figure out 3 or 4 plays in every lineup. But that's what we do. I don't know anybody else that's doing it like this with the amount of guys that we have it and the talent that we have that's doing it. So when you sign up for RPS, you don't just get the shows, and the shows are very valuable, especially up to lock. I mean, if you're not watching up to lock shows, what are you doing? Breaking news, best plays, updated cores, everything that you need. But core plays, playbook, like Uncle T did. He broke down every single position, all the pitchers, all the positions, all the players that he likes, slate strategy. We do that for every sport, not just baseball. You'll have NBA Showdown. We still got at least a couple of games left there, right? A couple NBA games, PGA, the team kills it. So we got a lot of great analysts. If you get a chance, check it out. Sign up, runpuresports.com. And just for signing up, we'll give you our bets side 1 month for free. 1 month for free. Sign up, use the code GETBETS. You'll get all of our bet side picks too. Still got, again, a couple of games left here in the NBA. Titletown was giving out some huge winners in UFC. I know our betting side, Keg, has been killing it in UFC. Check it out. Golf, baseball, basketball, hockey.
Yeah, Holden, I got to give Keg a shout out. But that little, he does these write-ups in Discord, and Tony and I got to get with Keg to get those write-ups in an article format. because I mean, it was like 5,000 words. And so I went and copied and pasted everything in Discord and it took me a while from a formatting standpoint, because when you copy paste something to Discord to Word to then the site, I mean, it takes some time, but that article was money yesterday. So hopefully that's something that we're going to have in there moving forward, but it's going to be on the website for members.
Yeah. Joey and JJ definitely are not going to have me for the start of the bet show. We're taking our time here, and that's absolutely fine. We got 3 more games to get to. Miami, Houston. Can we just cross Miami off the list? We want to get super duper, uber duper contrarian. And then what do you want to do with Houston, AP?
Yeah, I am off the bats in this game. Marlins pitching staff seems to be pretty competent. Edwin Cabrera has shown some good stuff. So I'm going to be off the Astros here, off the Marlins, and I like Verlander.
Okay. How about you, JT?
Yeah, pretty much off the bats. I mean, I'm never going to say I won't play Alvarez or Tucker as a one-off the way they're hitting the ball. And I think Cabrera is way too expensive in this spot against this team. So maybe just a couple of 2-man stacks here on the Astros.
Okay, very good. I'm coming right back at you because I think you and I are both on Kansas City today. I love going after Dean Kramer. Keller's on the other side. We got good hitting weather in Kansas City. AP and you and I kind of discussed how to attack this thing at the beginning of the show, but let's dig into it big time here. What do you like from the Royals? What do you like, if anything, from the Orioles? JT Hayes.
Yeah, I like this game quite a bit. Like this game as a game stack here. JT, thank you.
He got himself there.
I did. I wanted to correct myself.
No, you're the best. That's why you're the best.
I know.
That's why you're the best.
No condescension there.
But, listen, here's the thing about stacking this game, and I'm going to do it a couple of different ways. I may have 6, 7 lineups that stack this game, and AP mentioned it with the 2 catchers that are getting all the attention on the Kansas City side. Adley Rutschman is 2.6K, and I mean, no one's going to play him. Even if you're stacking this game, you're going to be on the Royals side, and I think that price is a nice price against Brad Keller. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring in this game, and I like it. Definitely not playing the pitchers here. Tyler Nevin hit a home run last night. He's just 2.3K. So you can play the expensive Royals, pair them with the cheap Orioles, and of course, Mullins or Mancini or something like that. And I like it a lot.
What do you think, AP?
Yeah. So again, I think it's 90 degrees. Kauffman Stadium's big, but I agree with you guys. Like, I think this is going to be a pretty decent spot to target. I was a little salty coming into it, but you guys warmed me up. What I would do, like, the one thing that worries me is like Carlos Santana, 2.3K. I feel like people are going to play a lot of him. And it's like, do you really want to play a chalky Carlos Santana? I mean, you could look at it too. Like, is he really going to kill you in this spot? But I just see a lot of those bills. I see him being a cheap one-off people go to, maybe the cash guys go to for power there. But I do have interest in the bottom of the order. Like, if I was going to play him, it would be in a full stack with like Taylor, maybe Riviera, or do a cheap guy from the Baltimore side, and then look at, Bobby Witt, Salvi Perez, Melendez. The guys I'm just kind of off. Witt, Benintendi, probably off those guys. They just haven't been hitting very good. I like the Rutschman comment too. I think he's pretty interesting. Looked pretty good at the plate yesterday. I'm always a sucker to play some Austin Hayes and Santander, especially, gets Brad Keller, who's not very good. I don't know. It's very tough for me because I have a lot of spots that I like, and I see some ownership going to my Royals, and anytime
really?
JTAs, am I wrong on that? It just seems like Santana, he's just so cheap. Melendez been hitting good. Salvi's starting to wake up. Bobby Witt's been hitting very good. People love playing Benintendi right there in the 2-hole. So I don't know. Anytime they're chalk, it's like, gosh, they never come through for me. So I'm a little concerned, and we can't play everyone on this slate. So I'm kind of torn. I'm not saying I'm fading this spot. I'm torn right now.
Okay, you're torn. That's all we needed to know. You'll be fine.
I like being transparent, but I wasn't very transparent there.
Yeah, there's no.
It is what it is.
Well, I'll just come right back at you though. Try and be transparent with the Reds at the Cardinals then.
Yeah, I am. I'm off the hitters in this game. I have no interest in either side. Big ballpark. No interest in going to the, Hudson's been good at home. What JT mentioned, and then the Cardinals here against Ashcraft, who's, he's looked decent. Not going there. So I'm off this game completely.
JT?
I like Hudson. And there's some of these guys on the Cardinals lineup that I think fit in nicely if you're not going to do a game stack of some of these games that we talked about. Gorman, O'Neill, even Brendan Donovan in there. I think Ashcraft is going to come back to earth pretty soon here. He's had a really, really good start. But the way this things happen, right? The league, the rookies come up, they get some tape on them. All of a sudden, guys start to see the way they pitch and how they target, and then they have that game where they come back to life. So I like some of these Cardinals. Not a lot of exposure, but just a little bit.
Okay. Are we done here, AP? We all done?
Yeah, I think we're done.
We've got nothing, right? So I got to hop onto the bet side. We did not get to 300, JT, so let's not bother giving out any. Do you want to hold back?
Oh, man.
I
like mine too. We'll post them in Discord. That's
you got 3 minutes. I'll give you 3 minutes to get to 300. Do you want to hold back the stacks and the plays of the day, JT Hayes, or just one of the two?
You have something to read? I mean, you have something to read to give the people time to.
No, trust me. I can think of a million different things to talk about. Okay.
We can talk some stacks. You
want to talk some stacks? Okay. So what's the sexiest stack of the day, my friend? The sexiest stack for JT Hayes.
Yeah, I think for me, like I said, I mean, I like this Baltimore Kansas City game. I think AP's probably right. The Kansas City side is going to be the higher owned side. So I'll go ahead with some of these Orioles. Orioles stacks. And then after that, I like the Washington side of the Washington-Milwaukee game. And then I'm going to go with the Twins once again. They're just so hot. So those are three that I'll be heavy on as of right now.
Yeah. I mean, the more I look at it, the more I just love this Washington-Milwaukee game. The Nats have beaten up this Milwaukee staff for 19 runs the last 2 days. Neither bullpen has been good over the last, couple weeks here. Yeah. They've just been awful. As a matter of fact, both bullpens have just been awful recently, which is surprising with the Brewers, right? But they've been getting tagged. Yeah, well, I'm definitely jumping on that.
Once you get to them early in the game, it kind of takes the haters and the Devin Williams out of play because they come in when they're, either competitive or leading late in the game. So you get to their starters early, and then it becomes you're getting the second tier of their bullpen arms.
Okay, you got about 1 minute to get to 300. If not, we're just going to end the show. AP, what about your stacks?
Yeah, I like that mention that you guys made on the Brewers Nationals game. I kind of prefer that game stack over the Royals one. Similar environments, but we know where run production is going to come from, especially on the Nats side with Bell and Soto. I'm Sunday. So I told myself I got my stick outside of the Braves because I love the Braves today. But I got to be contrarian Sunday. I got my sticky note right here. Just always get different on Sundays. Because Sundays just always seem to be a little bit different. I'm going back to Toronto. Love the righties here against Scooball, who's been phenomenal. He's been very good. These riders are also very good. Let everyone down yesterday. Going to be unowned. And I'm going to go back to the Rangers, who are going to be absolutely unowned against Kapesh, Seager, Calhoun, Garcia, Semien. I think all those guys absolutely crush.
Okay, very good. Where are we? 291. That'll do it. Head on over to the bet side. I bet you Joey and JJ have already started their show. I'm not even giving out my Red Hot one-off here, guys. I mean, you could just take it. It's a little disappointing today. Maybe we'll just start doing some more premium shows instead of all the free shows, but that's fine. For those of us that love us, anyways, hit the like button on the way out. It'd be nice to see 300 when we go back and view it. Simon, thank you for waking up today and gracing us with your presence. AP, always good to see you. JT Hayes, I wish I could say the same. And that's it. We'll have great content from here on out. Check out the site, runpuresports.com. Code right now, get bets. You get the bet side for free for 1 month when you sign up. Simon, get us out of here, please.